right, welcome into another episode of the 2022 MLB Draft Show. Today, we got a nice one. We got another cool one, man. We got a reclass from the 2023 ranks into 2022. We've got Alabama commit Walter Ford. Walter, you're a tough one to introduce because you're really, really good on the field. You're really, really good on the mound. You can hit. You can defend. How do you want us to introduce you? Tell us who you are.
Well, I'm Walter Ford, and of course, at the moment, I'm still playing everything, almost like it's T-ball. But I kind of just consider myself an athlete, I guess. Kind of just playing baseball, just in the backyard, I guess. Basically, I kind of love the pitch, love the hit, love the field, just love the game in general, and I kind of just play it with heart and passion.
I mean, I think you might be underselling yourself a little bit. 97 on the mound, you hit nukes. Can you kind of describe yourself as a pitcher and then maybe try and describe yourself as a hitter as well?
Yeah, let's see. It's two different things, definitely. When I'm on the mound, I'm very intense. Guys, it's a really crazy mindset I like to get into, but it's almost a cutthroat when I'm on the mound. And then, of course, I'm hitting. I'm kind of just like a more lightheaded approach, kind of keeping thoughts kind of free moving, and then just kind of having fun with the game when I'm up to bat. But two different polar opposites of how I look at the game when I'm on the mound and hitting. But I love to do it both.
Well, I want to jump right into your summer, man. We started off with setting records at Junior National with 97 off the mound. You hit a nuke the same weekend. You followed it up by going pretty much every showcase this summer. You closed out games for USA National U18. And just talk to me about how the summer was for you, because that's probably one of the loudest summers any high school kid had in the entire country.
It was definitely crazy. Let's see. I think we kind of got a really big boom whenever I ended up hitting 97 at Junior National, which was a PR. I was recently at 95 in high school, and then I ended up at 97. So that was a big deal. That was kind of out of the blue. We weren't expecting any of that. We were kind of just hoping to hit 95 again, and I blew that out of the water. And then I ended up kind of getting invited to go to the 16/17U NTDP, which is kind of like the 18U PDP, and they were going to select 6 17-year-olds to go and try out for the 18U team. And I ended up being one of those 6 that made it, and then I made the final cut to make the 18U team. And then I ended up getting invited to East Coast Pro as well. They actually invited me out to one of their showcases. And then I was actually blessed enough to be able to go there and pitch a couple innings for the Colorado Rockies, which is for my area. But yeah, it was crazy. I wasn't expecting any of it. Honestly, I thought the only big thing I'd do as a 17-year-old was just do the Junior National and then get ready for all the crazy events that I ended up doing next year.
Well, talk to me a little bit about reclassifying, because I think most people had you chalked up as one of the premier dudes for 2023, but you followed in Ken Collier's footsteps. You reclassified for the 2022 class, and I mean, your talent jumps off the page so much that I think a lot of people would consider you a first-round talent this year. What went into jumping into this draft class a year early?
It was one of those things. Kind of around the end of the USA, kind of sat down as a family and we were like, "Look, where are we at?" Because I mean, we had no clue this wasn't even a thought 2 months ago, and we were kind of sat down as a family and we were like, what should we do? What's the next move? And talking as a family, ended up kind of figuring out that, or kind of realized that I'm ready for the next level, whether that be college or pro. And that was the final step, actually. I called Coach Bo from Alabama, and I wanted to make sure that they would still want me a year early. And I called Coach Bo, and he was like, "I'd love to have you a year early." So that ended up being kind of the final straw, where it was like, okay, I think I can definitely be ready for the next level, whether it may be college or pro. And kind of went through the steps of getting reclassed, and then now I'm doing my junior and senior year this year.
I want to ask a really quick follow-up on that. What was it that made you think you're ready for the next level? I mean, was it the velo? Was it the advanced body type? Was it the performance against competition? Was there something that clicked with you and your family at any point during the process where you just said, why bother going through one more year when I'm ready now?
We kind of looked at it, and going through all the upper class stuff, and especially on the mound. We kind of looked at it and we were like, I don't look like the 17-year-old in this group of guys, and I held my own through everything we did, or all throughout the summer. And I was kind of just, I guess, kind of just ready. I was almost like I kind of already hatched, and it was it'd be one of those things going through the trying to do it all over again. Almost wouldn't have been as fun as I did it this year, because I would have been same old, and we kind of just like just realized it was time to move on.
Well, let's talk about that next step. You mentioned Alabama, and for as far back as I went, you've been an Alabama guy. I've seen pictures when you were a child on Instagram when you're out in Alabama gear. So just talk to me about a little bit about how special that commitment is heading to Alabama, whether you be there or going to the draft.
That was crazy. When it first happened, it was my summer going into my freshman year of high school, and Alabama was actually one of the first colleges to ever talk to me, and the last one to offer. I was just waiting on it forever, and I was like, please, come on, give me the offer, because that's just my hometown. I mean, my middle name's Bryant. I'm named after Bear Bryant, and it was just a match made in heaven. They finally offered, and I was like, I'd love to be in Crimson and White yeah, I'm sticking with them, and they've been really great to me. I love the coaching staff. I love Coach Bo. I love Coach Jackson, and then of course Coach Matt Rada. He actually ended up coming back. He was there, and he left, and he came back. And I'm extremely happy and glad to have that coaching staff there.
Who's your favorite Alabama?
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just gonna say, who's your favorite Alabama athlete of all time?
Oh man.
Let's see. Football or baseball? Or we?
How about both?
All sports. Oh, let's see. Gosh, I remember watching Derrick Henry and then Amari Cooper in football. Those are like the two stars when I was growing up watching football. And then I know Joe Caruso with baseball. I played with the East Coast Sox, and I've heard all the stories, and I've seen some videos and stuff, and I think that's probably just one of my favorite baseball players at Alabama, just because I know him on a personal level. But definitely probably Julio Jones was another one that I ended up watching when I was younger. But
it's too easy. You got like 14 draft picks every year.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh man, Derrick Henry was fun in college though. That's a good one.
It's just a bowling ball. All right. Well, I mean, I'm going to jump into another question, Ian. I don't know if that counts as a question.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about this summer again, because you played in the 2023 class, and then you jumped into the 2022 class at some events. Is there a hitter that sticks out that you kind of thought, okay, I can definitely see the jump from one class to another here? Like, this guy's really advanced.
It's actually funny because this guy is actually still at 23. It's Walker Jenkins. I faced him for the first time at East Coast Pro, and he took a 95 mile per hour fastball, kind of right above the hands. He took it 400 feet deep. He caught it at the wall, and I tell you, when I made that pitch, I was like, "Oh, it's right there. That's strike 3." And he turned his hands on it quick, and my heart dropped. So I was like, "That ball's gone." But ended up center field made a great play. I mean, he almost like Michael Jordan caught it, jumped, hit the center field wall, and of course I faced him back at USA, and I ended up staying away from low and outside that time. I didn't want to go back high and in, but yeah, he was definitely one of them. And then for the 22 class, probably Tamar, honestly, because the first time I ever faced him was the USA trials, and I've heard all the stories about him. Like, there's been so many pictures, like, you want to throw him this, and then another one's like, no, don't do that. So I was kind of going in there blind. But he's a really aggressive dude. So if you leave it anywhere over the plate, it's going to be hammered. But it is also one of those things. He's a great outside the zone hitter as well. Probably, I think, the best in the 22 class, because he has such great hands. He can just slap a ball opposite field for a double, or kind of just get inside one and then pull it down the line. But so I knew I couldn't beat him with outside the zone pitches. So I kind of had to go right at him. It was pretty fun. I ended up getting him to get on top of a slider, get him ground out. I think the second baser back to me. I'm not too sure, but
yeah, I actually just finished up a project that had him slaying everything outside of the zone. Him and Mikey Romero, they cover everything. So yeah, it's good call, man.
Well, I want to jump into the data side of things a little bit. You have immense field of spin on your fastball and on your breaking ball. And is that something that you really dive into more off the field when do you have the ability to see that technology or use that technology on a daily basis?
I'm actually not. I didn't even know I had great spin until probably about middle of the high school season when they got a Rapsodo. And they thought it was broken. They thought I had recalculated. I was up in the I was in like the 2700s, and they're like, I think we had it wrong, and then it ended up just being right. And then I kind of sit around, I think it's like the 2500s. I'm not too sure. I don't really look at all that, but it just kind of comes naturally. People ask how do you get that? I'm like, I don't know. He's kind of just comes naturally. It's a God-given gift, and I got no other things. Kind of just something I naturally do. There's nothing. I don't know how I do it at all. I can't tell you all that, but I really don't have. Yeah, I don't really have any technology at the moment. I'm kind of winging it. What feels good, and what I can see with my eye. And then sometimes, of course, I'll take video of myself pitching and kind of go a deep dive into it. But I don't really have very much access to all the numbers.
It's working, so
they're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're good.
The only time I saw the numbers was when I looked back at the scoreboard and they'd be up on the. It's the only time I got to see them.
Yeah, that can be dangerous. But when you're good, you're good.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, I want to know. So looking at next steps, obviously you're committed to Alabama, and you've got a huge future ahead of you. It sounds like you're more than happy to end up with the Crimson Tide. What sorts? I've got two. I guess it's a two-part question. What do you hope to achieve? What do you hope to accomplish personally in terms of getting bigger, stronger, completing a third pitch between now and the next 8 months? And then on the other side of things, if you were to get drafted, is there something at the pro level in terms of team culture or player development, something that you're looking for in a future employer?
Not really. I mean, I want to play baseball. I guess I'm not really that big of this has got to be a certain way for me to excel. I'm very adaptable. I've been in so many different, 3 high schools. Well, actually 2. Sorry, I had 2. And then a lot of travel ball teams. I was one of those people that I didn't really have a certain travel ball team. It was just I wanted to play every week, and not every team played every week. So I just jump around and play. So I've had tons of coaches growing up. I had tons of different information given to me. So I don't really have, preference. It's kind of just I'll go play baseball anywhere. But and then at Alabama, the culture there. I think it was actually Bo that really got me intrigued on Alabama because I ended up watching him at Auburn, and he was really great. He was the scouting director coordinator for Auburn, and I really liked with what he did with the team. And I could tell he kind of had a sight for talent. Because that Auburn squad a couple of years ago was pretty nasty. And then whenever Bo got signed to Alabama, I was extremely happy because I was like, okay, he's going to be able to turn the culture around at Alabama, and that's my dream school. So I was like, that's going to be awesome. And then so that's what I'm really looking forward to is being under Coach Bo. I love him as a coach. I've kept up with him since I was 11, 12, and I'm really excited to go there.
Love that. The recruiting at Alabama has just went through the roof the last 2 or 3 years as well. It's been ridiculous type of guys that have committed. They may have not all made it to school, but the commitments have been top notch.
Hey man, they got Hazelwood though.
Oh yeah, they did. I watched them at a it was a fall practice, and I opposite field off the wall, top of the wall. I was like, hey, the guy's a beast. I hope he plays as a freshman.
I'm convinced he's 26 years old. But that's a story for another
That's
time.
Ridiculous power. That's ridiculous power.
Yeah.
But I have no more baseball questions for you today, Walter. I know Joe might have some funny ones because you've had such a long summer. So I think we got some hot seat questions to finish you off with here, though.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm going to start with one because you've traveled so much this summer. And I've never asked anyone this, but what city in your stops this summer has the worst food?
Worst food. Let's see. This is definitely. I'm a big food guy, so if I go anywhere, I want to get what they're known for. Shoot. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Probably South Florida. I think so. Now this is going to seem really weird, but if you go to a couple places in South Florida that have been there for a while, they're really good. but it's kind of almost become such a tourist attraction. There's not a lot of good, authentic food there anymore. And it's kind of been kind of watered. It's watered down. But there's a couple of like really good places down there. The barbecue in Kansas City is my favorite. I love it. It's amazing. We had to stop and get it about 3 times on the way home.
Ian right here. Ian's a pitmaster. I bet you didn't know that.
Big barbecue guy over here. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Kansas City is definitely my favorite. I've never had anything like it. Let's see what else. North Carolina. I didn't really get to go out because with USA we're stuck to a hotel room. So I didn't order nothing but Pizza Hut. So
we actually we interviewed Zach Neto from Campbell like a month ago, and he said he misses the food from South Florida and that the food in North Carolina is trash.
It probably is. I mean, no offense to any North Carolinas, but I just doesn't really stick out to me as a food place.
All right, man. I'm gonna give you one more. Well, I'll give you a chance to rag on your teammates. I'll give you the 2022, 2023. Who's got the worst sense of style?
Worst sense of style. Oh gosh. Let's see. Probably Guidry.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been Gavin and Cole Young like nonstop.
Gavin, oh my! It's just the Louisiana in him. It just doesn't match very well.
All right, man. I got one more question. It's kind of our question that we ask everyone. What's the dumbest fact you know about something random that nobody else knows?
I know how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm not the smartest person in the world. There's so many things. There's so many stories about me just making dumb decisions. But so like I tell people it's funny because I tell people I solve a Rubik's Cube that know me, and they're just like, "There's no way you can't even add up 2 + 2. There's no way you can solve a Rubik's Cube." It was just one of those things. I think I was like 9 or something. We got it, and then I watched a ton of YouTube videos, and I memorized the kind of how you do it, and then it's just cemented in my brain.
Man, I'm convinced people that know how to solve a Rubik's Cube are like really trying their best not to like show other people how to do it. Because it's got to be a fairly simple process.
It is. I mean, it's like you just got to go. You got to go like from the top layer, middle layer, lower layer.
It's just a pattern. It's just pattern based.
Yeah, it's a pattern. Once you learn the one pattern, it's a singular pattern. You got to learn it.
Yeah, but see, that's all Walter will tell us. He won't tell us anything more than it starts at the top and ends at the bottom.
And then it's done.
And then you're done. All right, man. It's been a pleasure introducing you to the viewers and listeners and getting to know you, man. Really excited to see where your next 9 months goes, because I mean, anyone that's touching 97 9 months before the draft is going to capture some people's attention. But don't shortchange yourself at the plate, because you can definitely nuke. So, but that's going to do it. That's going to do it for Walter Ford. Again, thank you for joining us, man, and we're rooting for you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.